The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest body of water on Earth, covering more than 60 million square miles. It is vast, ancient, and full of places no human has ever seen. For those who cross it, there is a silent respect, and sometimes fear, for what lies beneath its surface. In September of 2014, the crew of the MV Horizon Star, a bulk cargo vessel on a routine trip from Osaka, Japan to San Diego, California, would come face to face with something that would test that fear. What began as an ordinary voyage would turn into a story none of them could explain. The first week at sea was uneventful. Clear skies during the day, calm winds at night, and a steady pace across the open water. On the 8th night, somewhere near the Mariana Trench, third mate Luis Alvarez was standing watch on the bridge. It was just past 1 o'clock in the morning when he noticed faint orbs of light low on the horizon. At first, he assumed they were distant fishing vessels, a common sight in certain parts of the Pacific. But something was wrong. The lights didn't blink like normal navigation beacons. They glowed steadily, and as he watched, they began moving toward the ship. He called the captain to the bridge. Within minutes, several crew members had gathered to watch the strange approach. The lights moved in perfect unison, gliding silently over the water. And when they drew closer, the crew realized something chilling. The lights weren't above the surface. They were on it, floating directly on the waves, as if carried by some invisible current. There were at least a dozen of them, pale and spherical, casting a ghostly shimmer across the black ocean. Then came the sound. At first, it was just a faint hum, almost like wind catching in the rigging. But the hum grew sharper, resolving into a chorus of whispers. The voices seemed to come from the direction of the lights, carried over the still night air. No one could make out the words. Some voices were low and gravelly, others high and thin, weaving together in a way that made the skin prickle. One deckhand, Marco Santos, later swore that he heard his late grandmother's voice calling his name. Others claimed they recognized phrases in languages they didn't speak: Japanese, Russian, something that sounded like Arabic, and something else entirely, a language none of them could identify. The lights remained alongside the ship for the rest of the night, matching its speed perfectly. They never drifted too close, but never fell behind either. The next day, under the glare of the sun, they were gone. But that night, at nearly the same hour, they returned, this time appearing without warning, suddenly materializing out of the darkness. Attempts to photograph or film them failed. The cameras recorded nothing but black water. Even the ship's thermal imaging devices picked up no heat signatures. Whatever they were, they left no trace on any instrument. For 3 nights, the lights followed the MV Horizon Star. They would vanish for an hour or two, only to return, sometimes closer than before. The whispers never stopped when they were near, and some crew began sleeping in the interior cabins to avoid hearing them. On the 4th night, just before dawn, the lights broke their pattern. Without warning, they sank beneath the surface, their glow fading quickly into the depths. The whispers ceased instantly, replaced by the normal sounds of the sea. The crew never saw them again. When the ship finally docked in San Diego, the incident was reported, but no official explanation was ever given. Some scientists suggested it could have been a rare form of bioluminescent algae, though no known species behaves in such a coordinated and persistent way. Others proposed that the lights were caused by some deep-sea organism drawn to the ship's electrical systems. More superstitious sailors believed the lights were spirits, the souls of those lost at sea, calling out to the living. And a few quietly suggested something far stranger, something not of this world. To this day, the crew of the MV Horizon Star cannot explain what they saw or what they heard during those 4 nights in the middle of the Pacific. The ocean has a way of keeping its secrets, and perhaps that is for the best. But if you ever find yourself alone on the open sea at night, and you see a cluster of pale lights drifting toward your vessel, you might want to close your eyes, block your ears, and hope they pass you by. Because once you hear the whispers, you may never forget them. Comment down below what you like about this short story, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories to come.